Coach Tina here. Do you have a plan for your life? What about a plan for your month? Right? Like we make these big, elaborate visions of what our life is going to be like, but we just kind of fly by the seat of our pants regarding our month. And you know this to be true if time feels like it is moving so fast you can't catch your breath, because I know that's what it's been like for me lately. And when we look at it that way, when we recognize that we are in control of our time as much as everything else, then what are we going to do about it, right? So, in the RPM planning system, one of the things that Tony Robbins says is that we need to plan our month. Now, this is really a 90-day view. This is this month and the coming up months. It's kind of like if you were driving and you watch the lanes in front of you and you see what's happening up ahead, because there might be an obstacle on the road, or someone, maybe there's a slowdown, maybe somebody's acting erratically. When you are prepared for it, you can make adjustments. But if you don't watch the road, what happens when the person in front of you slams on the brakes, right? So the 90-day view is kind of just like that. And it's not meant to be like you got to spend a whole bunch of time on it. In the RPM Rapid Planning Method book, he only spends 2 pages. They're an example. Oops, I'm not on that one, but they're on the example of the monthly. And so it's just a blank monthly calendar. And the point is, you are supposed to look at this month and the coming months and kind of get a feel for what's going on. What are some big events you have going on? Are there birthdays? Are there anniversaries? Are there business meetings? Is there a deadline looming? It's not unlike when we put on a in the GPS where we want to go, and we look at the route and we pick which way we want to go based on the traffic that's progressing better this way versus the other way. When we're looking at the big view, we can make better decisions. And with the time periods, you can be looking at things like, is this the time to be doing this? Like, for instance, I was just noting that we didn't plant anything this year. So we were in the middle of a move last year. It's kind of become our story. So when the spring came, we weren't quite organized and we lost the window. Like, we can't in August plant some seeds and expect to have, say, sunflowers. We missed the opportunity. But if we had been looking at the calendar, seeing that as an option, we could have said, you know what, this is the time. This is how I want to spend my time periods, which is giving me a really good idea, because I could make projects that are winter, spring, summer, and fall, and kind of imagine the things like, what outcome do I want for that season? And when I have that in context, then I can make some actions and then schedule them at the beginning of those 90-day periods. So I can be looking at that block and remembering who I want to be in this season, real season of life. So I'm going to go into the RPM planner and I want to share with you what mine looks like. And I'm doing this on purpose. This is kind of a reveal, if you will, because when you come into the RPM planner, you are on the month view. Obviously, Tony wants us to have the big eye view. And you can see the last week and this week, I've been filling it in with the things that I'm doing. Things are showing up. But then if you look ahead, now part of it is we're planning a trip and we're going to be out of town in here. So I know that I haven't got a lot blocked off. But even going further ahead, I'm seeing that there just isn't that much on my calendar. And if I come up and I change my view and look at a different month, sorry to say, it's blank. And I'm just not seeing that much 2 months out. That is because I am not using the system the way I think Tony intended it to be. So when we started out at the workshop, I put down I had captured my list of things to do. I put it in the right places. But of course, when you're planning and taking stuff out of your head is thinking like this, but life is like this. And now I'm further down the road. I've done all the easy stuff. The planning was supposed to happen every week. And I just kind of saw it as, okay, what have I got still on my list? And so, full honesty and transparency, I'm recognizing that I'm not doing the deeper planning. I have to go back in. I have to look at these months. I have to look at the big vision. I have to really set these projects in place. So as I told you, I am digging deeper than just how does the software work, but why do I need to use the software, and how can I use the principles of RPM in life, and then use the software as the tool that makes it better. So I'm working in that direction. I hope that this has been valuable to you. I have a challenge for you, and that is to put in your events for the next 90 days. What are those big rocks? What are those things that you are going to need to plan by and for in the future? And the next time you look at your monthly calendar, that first thing when you come in, scroll forward a little bit and just kind of get that picture. It takes 2 minutes to remember what your months and the coming months look like, and see how that helps you in your RPM planning. Take care.